I mean, I don't want to say this, but I seen it worked for the Joe Budden podcast. You know what I mean? They had a white co-host. Mm-hmm. It worked for Charlemagne. He got a white co-host to host his podcast with him.
Who, Peter?
No, Andrew Schultz, the greatest comedian out right now.
Greatest out?
Best. I can't say greatest, the best out.
Best out?
Who do you think is better than him?
I don't know. Mark Normand.
Mark Normand is fucking hilarious.
That's the guy.
But I just feel like that style of comedy, you could never say. I'm not going to say it's a shtick, but it's like, you know, like, okay, for example, with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is funny as shit, but you can't really give him the respect of a Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock or a Richard Pryor just because of the content.
What do you mean?
So his content is kind of shticky. It's kind of like kid-like, you know what I mean? Just poking fun at everything compared to Dave Chappelle, who's giving you jokes and bars, but real critical society needed conversations. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they hit more topics. Like,
yes.
Well, like more get into deeper topics. Dave Chappelle crafts long ass jokes. That dude, that's the best comedian of all time.
I absolutely think so. I low-key draw. First of all, I would have said this. I think Joe Rogan is lucky that Dave Chappelle is not in podcasts because I think his podcast would blow Joe Rogan the fuck out the water.
Yeah, right. Because he's got such a crazy take on everything,
and the way he builds it up, like bro. I remember. I can't even remember, bro. But it's a joke where he talks about. He was talking about the Black Lives Matter protest, right? And he was basically saying like, yo, I don't get how people on the right don't understand. Then he went into this long soliloquy about this white guy who was in the military and he went rogue and there was a shootout or something like that. And somehow tied in a 5-minute story into the initial point he made. And it hits you out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But,
smart.
Yeah, but I guess that's my point with a guy like Mark Normand.
It's he's not as deep. He's just got like, I don't know, the gays. Aha!
But it's so genius though.
Ever told on a nigga? No. Ever squeezed a trigger? Yeah. Ever set a nigga up? No. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on his luck?